Hello, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to show the system to you. The system is this. You have a stick and I'm building this for my game. The stick does not move if I click the mouse button down anywhere on the screen, but when I click on top of it, I can move the stick right and then left. And there's also a clamp, so after a while it doesn't rotate any further. Another thing is that if you click on the stick again, you can still move it right from where you left it. So that is the system that I've made. Hopefully you'll find it useful, so let me go over this. Okay, so I have a world scene over here, which is just two 2D nodes. And inside of it I've got something called stick base, which is again a 2D node. I've got a sprite node inside it, and I've got a stick area 2D, which is basically an area 2D, which is going to have a signal attached. And let me show that signal to you. Over here you've got a signal called collision object 2D, and the signal is input event, and this is connected to the sprite, to the parent or the root, which is the stick base. So let me show this to you. If I double click this, and there you go, there's the script. Okay, so I'll start. On ready war sprite reference is just a reference to the sprite. I don't believe I'm using this anymore, but it is a reference to the sprite, and I believe I'm not using this anymore, so this can be ignored. And this is dragging variable is going to be true and tell the game that we have begun the dragging process. Then we have got click position over here, which is going to store the position of the click when you click on the sprite. We've got move delta over here, which is for comparing the click position and the movement, and we are going to move the sprite or move the stick based on that delta. We have got did click, which is going to tell the game that the player did click. We have got mouse down, which is going to tell the game that the mouse has been down, or it's down right now. And then we have got last rotation degree. So whenever we leave the mouse, we are going to store the last rotation of the stick. This is for this is to handle a bug that can encounter in the game, which I'll show you right now. So the first thing that we do is that signal that was connected from the area 2D, this is that signal. So this is what we do. We have input.isAction just pressed mouse left click. So mouse left click has been set in the input map, and that's just mouse left click. That's it's self-explanatory. So we tell the game that yes, the player did click the stick. So let me show you this. This can only occur due to that signal. So when we are pressing down on this stick, these are the statements that run. We also store the click position by using this event.position statement. And then you have this slightly large input function. Over here we'll check whether this is a input event mouse button, and if it is, then we're going to see whether it was pressed or not. And if it was pressed, that means we are now in a dragging state, and if it's not pressed, that means we're not dragging anymore. We're going to check if we are dragging, and if we have clicked the sprite, then we are going to run move sprite on drag, which is basically a function that I created. Let's take a look at this. So move sprite on drag accepts event.position, which is the position of the event. So if you have the event, which is Godot does that when you have an event, you can actually check its position, and you can use that position to use in your function. So if you go over here, you'll see that move delta will be equal to click position minus movement position. Now movement position is the name of the argument. So this is the name of the argument, and the argument is going to be subtract it from click position. So here we are setting click position, which is going to be the click position. So if you're clicking over here, that is the click position, and then the movement position, which is the argument, and we're passing it over here in event.position. This is going to, so event.position is going to change when we're going to start dragging. So when we start dragging, the movement position's value changes, and we minus that from the click position, so we are going to get the move delta. So we are getting the move delta that way. That means we will get the delta of the movement, how much the mouse has moved from the click position and when it's being dragged. Then we've got this statement here, which is this: if we have left the mouse, which is if input.isAction just released, which Godot's its way of saying that if this action, the mouse left click action, was just released, we are going to set did click is equal to false, so we don't move the sprite anymore. And we have last rotation degrees. We are going to store that so that we avoid a bug, because if this isn't there, then when you press the stick, it's always going to start like this. Whenever you'll click the stick, it's going to be absolutely vertical. So this is for that, because we're going to use that in the physics process. So in the physics process, we check if is dragging and did click is true, then we're going to rotate the sprite by move delta minus move delta.x plus last rotation degrees. So when we are moving, we have got the move delta over here, move sprite on drag. We need the x value only because we are moving left to right, so we need the x value only, and we pass that into the self.rotation degrees statement, which is going to just rotate the sprite left or right. And then we also clamp that value between minus 45 and 45, so the sprite doesn't go beyond minus 45 and 45, and that's the script really. So let me just play this and you'll see. Okay, so the sprite will not move because we haven't clicked the area 2D that is right now on this attached on the sprite. When we click this, then the game knows, okay, so now you're clicking the sprite, what do you want to do? And click position has been stored. When we move this, event.position is passing that function, and we get the move delta, and we compare the move delta delta's x, the x coordinate, and then we are moving this using the transform property, which is going to be the, I believe it's the rotation degrees property. So, and to prove that we're only comparing x, if I move in the y direction, nothing is going to happen, but if I move in x, things will happen. Also, I can like go off the screen, it's still going to rotate, but if I leave the mouse button now, it's not going to. So that's the script. I hope this is going to be useful for you, and wish you best of luck in creating your game.